It's that time of year again. The latest Apple devices have arrived. We spent time with all of the company's new products and reported back on their successes and missteps. First, Cherlin Low tested out all 4 of the new iPhone 13 model to see which are worth your money this year. Valentina Palladino spent time carrying around the redesigned iPad mini, which does everything a small tablet should. Also, Devendra Hardar found one more reason to recommend the Dell XPS 15, and Matt Smith took some average selfies with the ZTE Axon 30's invisible front-facing camera. On paper, Cherlin Low says there's not much to get excited about when it comes to the new iPhone 13 and 13 mini. The incremental upgrades like the bigger batteries, better displays and faster chips all feel like standard, annual improvements. The key features of the new handsets are the enhancements made to the cameras. The rear sensors have been improved. The ultra-wide lens lets in more light and the A15 chip has a faster image signal processor. Cherlin particularly liked the addition of photographic styles, which allows the user to choose a profile of contrast levels and color temperature for photos. And she said cinematic mode, which blurs out the background behind a subject, was the most intriguing of the new video features. But at its default intensity, the blurriness looked strange and artificial, and cinematic mode only works at 1080p/30 fps, regardless of the quality you've set your camera to record. Other aspects of the handsets were largely similar to previous models. The speakers are still good enough for video watching, and both phones easily handled switching between multiple apps, uploading photos and other tasks. However, Cherlin was quick to point out that the phones still feature 60Hz screens, which made them feel laggy in comparison to handsets that have speedier displays. Overall, she said that, as expected, they're excellent if a bit boring phones with little to complain about. Cherlin Low says make no mistake about it, the one thing that really makes the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max stand out is the new promotion display. With faster screens that can adjust their refresh rates depending on the task, the handsets are finally able to take advantage of their big OLED displays, whether you're watching video or simply scrolling social media. The 2 new models are also 25% brighter for better outdoor viewing and, thanks to the 5-core GPU on the Pro, able to handle graphics-intensive tasks more quickly. Cherlin said that the A15 Bionic chip combined with the faster refresh rate made everything from YouTube and music streaming to content gaming and chatting with friends seem much more responsive. The 2 new Pro models also have an additional telephoto camera and a new macro photography mode, but all of that power comes with extra weight. The 6.1-inch 13 Pro is 7.19 ounces and the 6.7-inch 13 Pro Max clocks in at 8.46 ounces. Cherlin said the bigger handset was uncomfortable to use one-handed for more than a few minutes. If that isn't a deal breaker, then she says either of the phones would make a worthy upgrade for those users. While the iPad mini has a dedicated fan base, it hasn't changed much since its debut 9 years ago. But the 2021 release of the tiny tablet features enough upgrades to make it feel like a smaller iPad Air. Valentina Palladino says that the new all-screen design, flat edges, touch-capable top button, 2nd-gen Apple Pencil support and USB-C charging all provide a much-needed refresh for the tablet. The bezels helped her keep a comfortable grip on the device while reading and making FaceTime calls, and the lightweight 100% recycled aluminum body made it easy to tote around. Valentina also liked that the new design allowed the 2nd-generation Apple Pencil to magnetically stick to the right edge of the tablet. She reports that the Mini makes a capable digital notebook thanks in part to the Pencil and the Quick Notes feature in iPadOS 15. Additionally, she said the A15 Bionic chip and the larger screen make it easy to use the device in place of an iPhone for a wide variety of tasks including video streaming and light gaming. However, the new Mini only comes in 64GB and 256GB models, with a $150 price difference between them, and those are notable differences in capacity and cost. Valentina says the significant update will be great for small tablet lovers, but she's not sure if the iPad mini will win over others in the market for a standard-sized iPad. Devendra Hardar was already a fan of Dell's excellent XPS 15 laptop, but he says the addition of an OLED screen makes the whole package even better. The start of the show, a 15.6-inch display, has some of the thinnest bezels on the market and uses a 3.5K OLED touchscreen that supports Dolby Vision HDR. Of course, this panel costs extra, and there are two LCD options to choose from. 2. While watching the new Matrix trailer, it displayed true blacks, brilliant elements like explosions and juggled scenes with bright and dark aspects. Devendra said he'd never had as much fun scrolling through websites due to the incredibly crisp text. The only additional improvement he could think of was a faster refresh rate. However, he had no complaints about the performance from the 8-core Intel i7 CPU or the 45-watt version of NVIDIA's RTX 3050 Ti GPU, which transcoded a 1-minute 4K video file into 1080p in 35 seconds. Devendra says you can expect it to tackle most intense workloads with ease, and although it's not a gaming machine, it's capable of reaching 70 FPS in Overwatch at the highest graphic settings. A sequel to the Axon 20, ZTE's Axon 30 touts an improved 16-megapixel, under-display camera UDC with a dedicated chip that keeps the area consistent with the rest of the screen. In practice, Matt Smith was pleased to report that the UDC is nearly invisible, but he was less impressed with the resulting photographs. His selfies had fuzzy details and suffered from lens flares and washout due to strong backlighting. Matt got much better images when shooting with the 4-camera array on the back, which includes a 64-megapixel Sony sensor. However, the Axon 30 has more to offer for its $500 price tag. The smartphone also features a 6.9-inch AMOLED screen with 2460 x 1080 resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. And it's powered by a Snapdragon 870 processor, which handled everything Matt threw at it from Stadia gaming to video streaming. It also has a standout battery that lasted 2 days of typical use with the 120Hz refresh rate off, and the handset can recharge to 100% in under an hour. Matt liked the new iOS 11 skin, which closely mimics the stock Google experience, save for a few shortcuts and widgets. But the smartphone lacks wireless charging and certified resistance against dust and water, and Matt says the 5G support isn't great in the US as it will only work on T-Mobile's mid-band 5G network.